Chardonnay True Crime fans, welcome back to another episode of Chardonnay True Crime. As you can see, I am back at home. So, yeah, I'm finally home. Everything is good. We don't, I'm no longer quarantining, so I'm all right. I am happy to be home. I definitely missed it here. I was out in the desert for a week, and it was pretty interesting. It was pretty interesting. It was so cold in the desert. Like, I honestly had no idea how cold it was going to be in the desert. That was wild. So, I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be back so that I can continue packing and get ready for my move out to Las Vegas. And Kate was just having a little bit of technical difficulties, so let's bring her on in real quick. Welcome back, Kate.
Off to a great start tonight, aren't we?
Yeah, and just so you all know, Kate's having a little bit of issue with some computer lag this evening, so just keep that in mind. If this happens a third time, I'd say just switch back to your phone and we'll figure out what's going on with your computer later. What do you think, Kate?
I think I should probably do that now, actually, because now you're off on my end, and that wasn't the case before. So I'm going to do that
Good
now.
plan. So while Kate is switching over to a different means of communication, I would like to take the moment to remind everybody that we are actually going to be taking a break for Christmas or the holidays, and that break is going to extend into January until after I make my move out to Las Vegas. So, bear with us. This week's episode is going to be our last full episode or our full series before I move and before the holidays. So we are really excited to be bringing you a lot more content. Throughout this break, I am going to be doing a lot of research. We are going to be working on some new stuff for the show. We are going to be working on a whole bunch of different things that we can do to make the show a lot more interesting. One of the things that we actually have planned out, and I finished working on the schedule for this week while I was in the desert, is we are going to be doing a new segment, and it's not so much like a segment, it's a new thing that we're going to be doing. We're working on the scheduling for this right now. We're a team, we all have to work on this together, but we are working on doing something where we are doing 50 states of serial killers. So I have all 50 states written out, and I have found 2 serial killers from each state to discuss. It is not always the most commonly thought of person from their particular state. Like for Chicago, I didn't pick John Wayne Gacy. I picked someone else. So that's going to be interesting. And we've got a comment here from 1010 saying, how about that Zodiac code break news? Seriously. Oh my goodness. When I read that, I was just like, wow. And I think it's really interesting. There's actually 2 more codes that have yet to be broken when it comes to the Zodiac. So it would be really interesting to see if any of those get broken as well, because it's honestly fascinating. And like the things that were said in that code were really interesting to me. It was really interesting to see, the things that he said. Yeah, those other 2 codes probably never will be broken because they are short. I agree, 1010, but it would be interesting to see if they did manage to do it, like if the cipher ended up working the same way, but I doubt it did. But it would be interesting. Anyways, let's bring Kate on in. Welcome back, Kate.
Hopefully third time is the charm here.
Fingers crossed, but luckily you've got wine. Oh yeah, pour that wine.
I just poured way too much wine, and I don't care.
That's a lot of wine, Kate.
I am irritated right now.
I know. So, you want to see a picture of the guy that we're covering tonight? Because honestly, like, it's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, how British does he look?
Not particularly British, honestly.
Oh,
Tell your mom to stop screaming.
my dad is making my mom and my younger brother work out, and he's making them all do it together. Because
That
he's brilliant.
I was gonna use the word suicidal, but sure, let's go with brilliant.
Yeah, no, they're all gonna kill each other. It's fine. Everything's fine.
It's fine. We'll cover it on the show after it happens. But in the meantime, you want to see the picture of Peter Sutcliffe?
Yes, let's see this guy.
All right, let's get ready for this. Do you remember that episode of What We Do in the Shadows where Naja calls Nandor Persian Frank Zappa?
Yeah.
Let me just really quick.
My immediate thought was Count Chocula.
Persian Frank Zappa. Persian Frank Zappa.
Like that widow. Can we talk about that widow's mountain?
Yeah, right. Seriously.
That ain't a peak. That's a mountain.
It is an entire mountain.
That's like Count Chocula, but like 70s vibes.
70s Count Chocula. Oh god. That just reminded me of that SNL skit. Seriously, America. Look at Pete Davidson's lips. Pete spits out fangs. The love of my life.
Oh.
You good?
Yeah, hold on. No. Mango's
there a
under. Yeah, Mango was under my table and he was chilling, and then he was like, "Hello."
He's like, I want to see Persian Frank Zappa. 1010 over here says would hit, and I agree. I would also hit Peter Sutcliffe with
a
car.
bat.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, with a car. Yeah. Oh god, this guy is like the fucking worst. He's so terrible.
Oh boy, I can't wait.
Yeah, he's bad. He's not a good person. All right. Well, no one that we really cover on the show is a good person.
Not particularly, no.
Oh, I'm a mess. All right. Yeah, so let's get started in all of this. You ready to get started?
I am ready. I got my notes up. I got my obscenely large glass of wine. I got a cat. We're good.
Sounds great. Sounds great. Peter William Sutcliffe, also known as Peter William Coonan, was an English serial killer who was dubbed the Yorkshire Ripper, which, as you can obviously tell, is an allusion to Jack the Ripper by the press. On the 22nd of May, 1981, he was convicted of murdering 13 women and attempting to murder 7 others between 1975 and 1980. He was sentenced to 20 concurrent sentences of life imprisonment, which were converted to a whole life order in 2010, and all except 2 of Sutcliffe's murders took place in West Yorkshire. The others were in Manchester.
Wild concept.
Happened
in Yorkshire, so they named him the Yorkshire Ripper. Wild.
Crazy. Yeah.
Big brain.
What'd you say?
They big brained it.
Yep. Big brain. I mean, I wonder how the press managed to think of that name.
They had their big brains on.
Apparently. Anyways, so Peter Sutcliffe was born in Bingley in the West Riding of Yorkshire to a working class family. He was given a Catholic upbringing by his parents, John William Sutcliffe, and John's wife, Kathleen Francis.
Hey, that weren't me.
That weren't me. I feel like there's going to be a lot of hot fuzz moments in this episode. As with any episode that takes place in England.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah. All right. So, reportedly a loner, Sutcliffe left school at age 15 and had a series of menial jobs, including 2 stints as a gravedigger in the 1960s. Now, reportedly, when he was a gravedigger, he would actually steal things from the corpses that he was supposed to be burying.
I can't. Off to a great start, but already I can't say I'm surprised.
Yeah, right. Here's another interesting thing. He was very attached to his mother, as are a lot of serial killers, very attached to their mothers. His father was one of those, one of those forces of people who's just like, I am in control of everything, except he kind of wasn't, because his mom had an affair with a cop.
Oh,
yeah. His mom had an affair, and his dad, when he found out about it, took the children to the hotel where she was meeting her lover and busted her. Yeah. Now, see, the thing with Peter is he had this like very black and white mentality about women. They were the Madonna or the whore. They were the loving, caring type that, took care of men and did whatever men wanted and said, or they were whores.
Which is really funny because you would think that the first description would kind of fall under the second description.
Because of Madonna?
No, just serving, doing whatever the guy wants. Just that seems like something that you would pay for.
You would think, but no. The Madonna is, what they call the Virgin Mother and everything.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
I know.
Okay, yeah. So, it's the implication is that any woman who's referred to as a Madonna is like the Mary. Oh God, what is it? It's not
Virgin Mary.
Yeah, Virgin Mary. I'm like, it's not Mary Magdalene because she actually was a whore.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah. 1010 in the comments says, no, women that take care of men would fall under whore. Okay, so I mean take care of, not in the biblical sense, but in the I do everything for you kind of sense.
Yeah, and I knew that was what you meant, but I was making more of a...
Yeah, you were making a broad spectrum joke.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So anyways, between November 1971 and April 1973, Peter worked at Bayard Television Factory on a packaging line and left that position when he was asked to go on the road as a salesman. After leaving the television factory, Sutcliffe worked night shifts at the Britannia Works of Anderton International from April 1973. And in February 1975, he took redundancy and used half of the 400-pound payoff to train as a heavy goods vehicle driver. So basically like a trucker.
What's redundancy?
So it basically meant that they had too many people who were doing the same thing and they were going to pay people to let them go.
Oh.
So they paid people 400 quid each to get a new job, basically. They were like, we're not firing you, but we have so many people who are doing this job that it's redundant, and anyone who wants to move on can take 400 quid from us and move on, and there you go. And Peter was like, yeah, I'll do that.
Just 400 quid, you say?
He
I'll take
yells
it.
so loud.
What?
I said he yells so loud.
Oh, I've like tuned it out, so I honestly like.
I happened to hear it, like just your brother yell like kind of loud, and I was just like, he's so loud.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Sorry for the background noise, everybody.
on the 5th of March, 1976, Peter Sutcliffe was dismissed for theft of used tires, which, like, I don't know. I just feel like, the used tires, like, what are you going to do with used tires?
I mean, depending on how used they are, sell them? Question mark?
You can sell them to a movie studio who wants to make a movie about a killer tire named Robert.
Ugh. Oh, that movie is wild. And I know that's the point. I know that's the point.
Yeah.
But it is just, it haunts me.
Have you watched it?
Yes.
I love that movie. I saw it as a midnight at the New Beverly, and I was just sitting there going, what the fuck? What the fuck? What
Yeah,
the fuck?
that was one of those many movies that my dad just like stumbled across at like while like watching movies late at night, and he like read the description and was like, I need to see this.
Oh, your dad and I have done that before where we're just like sitting out there and we're like, what?
Yeah. So Rubber is one, Teeth is another. Those are the two biggest ones that I'm just like, I sat through those.
Mm-hmm. It reminds me, I still need to show you Tucker and Dale versus Evil because I honestly think that you'll love that movie.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's a little gory, but I honestly think that you will love that movie.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyways, back to this. So he was dismissed for theft of used tires and was unemployed until October 1976 when he found a job as an HGV driver for T&WH Clark Limited on the Canal Road Industrial Estate in Bradford. Now, Sutcliffe, by some reports, used prostitutes as a young man, and it has also been speculated that he had a bad experience during which he was conned out of money by a prostitute and her pimp.
Rip.
Other analysis of his actions have not found evidence that he actually sought the services of prostitutes, but note that he nonetheless developed an obsession with them, including watching them soliciting in the streets of Leeds and Bradford. Now, he has a weird obsession with prostitutes. Now, I remember being totally like thrown by the idea of prostitutes when I was younger, and not thrown in that I thought it was a bad thing. I was thrown in that it's illegal, you know? Like, I just remember the concept being really wild to me. Like, it's illegal to do this with your own body. I don't get it.
Yeah, like that's something like, like I was raised going to like a religious school with like very, very close-minded parents. So that was one of those things where it's just like, oh yeah, that's a bad thing. But yeah, I don't get why it's illegal. Like, yeah, you shouldn't do that, but like, why is it against the law?
Nowadays, you know a little bit better than that, don't you?
I mean, I still don't understand why it's against the law.
No, I just mean about it being a bad thing.
Yeah, no, I know.
I still don't know why it's against the law either. I actually used to have this really awesome book that was surprisingly written by Gene Simmons about the history of prostitution.
Oh God, Gene Simmons.
Talk about a man who must be an expert in it.
Remember that dream I had?
No. Do I want to?
Not really. It was recent and upsetting.
Did you fuck Gene Simmons in your dream?
No, but he really tried.
That just sounds like Gene Simmons, to be honest.
Yeah. And like it kind of got to the point where I was like, I mean, who am I to say no to Gene Simmons? And then I woke up. It was very upsetting.
That is very upsetting. I don't like that.
I didn't either.
I don't like it. Anyways, so Peter Sutcliffe eventually met Sonia Suzmara on Valentine's Day, 1967. And the two started a long affair, eventually getting married on the 10th of August, 1974. Now, Sonia suffered several miscarriages, and eventually they were informed that she would not be able to have children. She resumed taking a teacher training course, during which time she had an affair with an ice cream van driver.
Boy, what a roller coaster that was.
What is it with England and like ice cream truck drivers? You know?
I don't know.
I feel like in the past 3 episodes that we've done about serial killers from England, ice cream trucks have come in every single one.
Yeah, that is very surprising that ice cream trucks like seem to come up so much more in England, where it's fucking cold all the time and rainy.
Did you hear that Rupert Grint for a while was driving an ice cream truck?
Yeah,
and giving away free ice cream to children?
Yeah, that was just like a cool thing that he did.
I was like, God, could that man be any more Ron Weasley? Like,
honestly, that was a very Hufflepuff thing of him to do.
Yeah, it really was. Quite the Hufflepuff, that Weasley.
Indeed. Truly a disappointment to his family.
Honestly, I think that the twins should have been in Ravenclaw, but that's just me.
I can see that.
Right? They were brilliant.
Yeah, they were brilliant. They were crafty.
They invented things that even the Ministry of Magic ended up using during the war. Yeah. Anyways, wow. We're getting off topic now. It's okay. Anyways, but yeah, no, fucking ice cream trucks. Now, I'm not entirely sure whether or not Peter found out about the affair for a while or what happened with that, because he stayed with her. But again, I feel like he equated Sonia to like his mother, in that she was the Madonna. She was the woman that took care of him after, he was old enough that his mother didn't take care of him anymore.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Right. And so I don't know. And maybe he thought it was okay because, his mother had an affair.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point.
Yeah. So he was just sort of like, well,
that's what wives do sometimes. Wives sometimes cheat on their husbands.
Mother had an affair with father, but mother was still great. And mother, so affairs are okay?
I guess that's like just like math meme, just affairs okay.
Right, seriously. You good?
Yeah. He's like kicking himself in the chin right now.
He's so weird.
He's so dumb. I love him so much.
So dumb. So when Sonia completed the course in 1977 and began teaching, she and Peter used her salary to buy a house at number 6 Garden Lane in Heaton, which they moved into on the 26th of September, 1977, and where they continued to leave until the time of Peter Sutcliffe's arrest. So they lived there. So they got the house in 1977. He was arrested in 1980, I think. So a good few years in that house.
Yeah. And she's like, "Oh, my husband got arrested. Not living in that house anymore."
Well, I mean, there's like Joseph Fritzl whose house was bulldozed after they found out what he did.
I can't remember who that is or
Joseph
what he did.
Fritzl Joseph Fritzl was the man who held his daughter captive under the house
Oh,
for like 20 years and had like 6 incest babies with her.
Yep, that's right.
Hmm.
Yeah, that house was right. They were right to bulldoze that house.
Oh, absolutely agree. Sorry, I just like it when like I have a candle lit and then I'm like, I'm done with this candle and I put the lid on and watch the flames die.
Which one were you burning?
Vampire blood.
Ah, good times.
I've only got like 2 candles left here. One is vampire blood, and I honestly don't remember what the other one is. It's somewhere in here. Oh wait, here it is. It is pineapple colada.
Oh,
Yeah.
the one that smelled all funky with the lid?
I made it stop smelling funky.
Good, good, good.
Yeah.
That was so weird.
That was really fucking weird. It smelled like a marshmallow.
I know, right?
I didn't like it.
This is why you don't mix your candle lids.
I know that now.
PSA for anyone out there who uses scented candles. Don't mix your candle lids up.
Otherwise, they make your pineapple candle smell like marshmallows.
And it's weird.
I hated it.
Ooh.
No, I just burnt it down a little bit and it started smelling like pineapple again. I was like, oh, thank God.
Okay. I had a feeling that's all it would take.
Yeah. I'm also really sad that like my big candles don't fit inside of my skull.
Oh yeah, that was a single wick holder.
Yeah. Just smells like pineapple in there.
Pineapple skull.
All right. So, anyways, throughout his childhood and early adolescence, Peter Sutcliffe showed no signs of abnormality, and later in life, related to his occupation as a gravedigger, he developed a growing he developed a really macabre sense of humor, which honestly, like, same though.
Just doesn't take being a gravedigger to do that.
No, I mean, but I am death obsessed, so maybe they're, I don't know.
Eh. I'm sure that does contribute.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. We all know that I have a weird obsession with death, and yet, is it really that weird? Is it?
Debatable. Questionable.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
I think Mango's ready to go out. I'll be right back.
All right. So rude to me. So rude. Just because I'm interested in death to the extent that I started an entire show about true crime and death. And I took forensic science in high school for 3 years. And I take forensic psychology courses. Just because of all that, suddenly I have an issue.
Suddenly it's called an obsession.
I don't, and just because I went to the Museum of Death so often, they all knew me by name.
I don't know how to tell you this, bitch, but you're weird.
I miss the Museum of Death. Yeah, I just like sat there the other day, just like doing like a mental walkthrough of the museum.
I've been doing that with Disneyland.
We're 2 very different people. You do that with Disneyland. You do mental walkthroughs of Disneyland, which, don't get me wrong, I can do as well. But I'm doing mental walkthroughs of the fucking Museum of Death.
Yeah. We gotta do another digital Disney date like we did a while back. That was fun.
That would be fun. But let's get back to the episode. So Sutcliffe's first documented assault of a woman who worked as a prostitute was a woman that he had met while searching for another woman who had tricked him out of some money. Now, he and his friend Trevor Birdsall were driving around St. Paul's Road in Bradford until he suddenly yelled at Trevor to pull over. He got out of the minivan and went up the street until he was out of sight. When he returned, he was out of breath as if he had been running and told Trevor to drive off quickly. Peter then said that he had followed a prostitute to a garage and hit her over the head with a stone in a sock.
Yeesh.
Just whacked her over. Yeah. Seriously. That's so loud. What are they doing?
Loud. They're just exercising. They're exercising with music.
Does it need to be that loud?
Well, my dad's half deaf, so
they know what time the show is on at. God, so rude.
Honestly, so couldn't have done this an hour ago,
right? Or in an hour.
Guess not, but fuck me, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, according to his statement, Sutcliffe said, "I got out of the car, went across the road, and hit her. The force of impact tore the toe off the sock, and whatever was in it came out. I went back to the car and got in." The police visited Sutcliffe's home the next day as the woman he had attacked noted Birdsall's vehicle registration plates, and they were able to track Sutcliffe through that. Because they probably went to Trevor and they were like, "Bruh!" And he was just like, "No, that weren't me."
Do you think they had skmods?
Well, it's England, so they don't have states in England.
Whatever.
State, county. Oh my God. State, county, official, municipal offenders data system. SCMODs.
Gotta say it right though. State, county, municipal offender data system.
Shit, you right. At least I know how to say clothes right. Baby clothes.
Baby clothes.
Fucking funny.
An episode without a Dan Aykroyd reference is a show wasted.
Indeed. Indeed. I wish I knew where my race dance doll was, but unfortunately I do not.
That's okay. He knows you love him.
He better. Dan Aykroyd doesn't, though.
I didn't want to say it.
That will forever make me sad that Dan Aykroyd doesn't know how much I love him.
You just gotta tweet at him every day until he notices.
That is creepy. I'm not gonna do that. I would at least like to someday be able to talk to him about paranormal and shit like that without having him be like, "Oh, you're that creepy fucking stalker girl on Twitter."
Day 284. I still love you, Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Oh my God, that little girl. All right. But anyways, so the police showed up at his house. Presumably, when he opened the door, they just went, "Bruh, the fuck?"
And he just went, "Hey, that weren't me."
They're just like, "Bruh,
that weren't me."
Bro, yes, it was. Your bro Trevor fucking ratted you out.
It were Trevor.
Wait, no, this is taking place in England. So your bro Trevor ratted you out though.
What? It was Trevor then.
It weren't Trevor. We showed that girl Trevor, and they said it weren't him.
I hit from the back. She wouldn't know. Shit.
Ah, you did her then.
I meant he did it from the back.
No, he actually did admit to what he had done, but claimed that he had hit them with his hand. So he's just like, I'm just imagining like that bit in Ghostbusters when Venkman like jumps up and smacks Ray on the head.
Oh.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yeah, that first bit. Right
I'm
in the
kind
middle
of in the middle of something, Ray.
Oh, I love that movie.
Oh God, me too.
I don't think anybody can love that movie as much as you do, but I truly love that movie.
As my Ghostbusters script turned into a picture.
God.
What happened?
I think Mango's back outside, and I think he tried to tug on the door handle, but I just heard thump like right at my door, and it just scared me.
Fucking cat.
I thought it was a ghost.
Anyways, so the police told him that he was very lucky that the woman did not want anything more to do with the incident. She was, I was thinking about his later life, sorry. He goes to well, we'll get there in the next episode.
Spoilers.
No spoilers. No, so she was a known prostitute and her husband was serving a jail term for assault. So Sutcliffe was able to commit his second assault on the night of the 5th of July, 1975 in Kylie. He attacked... Oh God, you're good at those Russian names. Can you give that one a try?
Anna Rogolskij?
Yeah, Rogolskij, who was walking alone and struck her unconscious with a ball-peen hammer and slashed her stomach with a knife.
Hey.
Disturbed by a neighbor, he left without killing her, and she was able to survive after a neurological surgery at Leeds General Infirmary, but she was psychologically traumatized by the attack. She later said, right? She later said, I've been afraid to go out much because I feel people are staring and pointing at me. The whole thing is making my life a misery. I sometimes wish I had died in the attack.
Oof.
Poor girl. Poor girl. Now, on the night of the 15th of August, Sutcliffe attacked Olive Smelt in Halifax. Employing the same modus operandi, he briefly engaged Miss Smelt with a commonplace pleasantry about the weather before striking hammer blows to her skull from behind. He then disarranged her clothing and slashed her lower back with a knife. And again, he was interrupted and left his victim badly injured but alive. Now, like Miss Rogolskij, Mrs. Smelt subsequently suffered severe emotional and mental trauma. She had told interviewing officer Deputy Superintendent Dick Holland, later the Ripper Squad's second in command, that her attacker had a Yorkshire accent. But this information was ignored, as was the fact that neither she nor the other victim were in towns with a red light area. So, there's the red light district, which is like where, you can go and, so like in Amsterdam, there's like the red light district, and that's where you can like get prostitutes legally.
Yeah, like I'm familiar with that, but like I don't understand like why like like the information about his accent would be ignored just because of that?
We will get to that actually.
Okay.
We'll get to that. That's towards the end of the episode. But anyways, on the 27th of August, Peter attacked 14-year-old Tracy Brown in Silsden. He struck her from behind and hit her on the head 5 times while she was walking along a country lane. He then ran off when he saw the lights of a passing car, leaving his victim requiring brain surgery. Sutcliffe was not convicted of the attack, but confessed to it in 1992. The first victim to be killed by Sutcliffe was Wilma McCann on the 30th of October. McCann, from Scott Hall in Leeds, was a mother of 4. He struck her twice with a hammer before stabbing her 15 times in the neck, chest, and abdomen. A stab wound to the throat, 2 stab wounds below the right breast, 3 stab wounds below the right breast, and I think that's supposed to be left breast, sorry, and a series of 9 stab wounds around the umbilicus, so like her stomach.
Like her belly button?
Yeah, around her like belly area. Now, an extensive inquiry involving 150 officers of the West Yorkshire Police and 11,000 interviews failed to find the culprit. One of McCann's daughters eventually died by suicide in December of 2007, reportedly after suffering years of depression over her mother's death.
Oh.
It's fucking awful. Like, the thing with these serial killers is they don't realize they're not just killing this one person. They are completely, like, tearing apart people's lives.
Yeah, like there's never just one victim.
No, there really isn't.
Oh, there we go. Music turned down a little bit.
I can still hear it.
Yeah, but it's not like it was like literally like distracting me for a minute there.
It was distracting me as well. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Do you think if you asked them to turn it down, they would?
I literally just texted my mom and said, "Can you please tell him to turn that down? I'm filming."
Yeah. All right, well, fingers crossed. Now, Sutcliffe committed his next murder in Leeds in January 1976 when he stabbed 42-year-old Emily Jackson 52 times.
Jesus Christ.
Now, the thing with Emily was that her family was in extreme dire straits financially, and she actually had her husband's support to be doing what she was doing. Yeah. So she'd been using the family van to exchange sexual favors for money. So she basically had a little mobile brothel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little one-stop shop there.
It's actually pretty smart if you think about it.
Right?
But anyway, Sutcliffe picked up Jackson, who was soliciting outside the Gaiety pub on Roundhay Road, and then drove about a half mile to some derelict buildings on Einfield Terrace on the Manor Industrial Estate. Sutcliffe hit her on the head with a hammer, dragged her body into a rubbish-strewn yard, and then used a sharpened screwdriver to stab her in the neck, chest, and abdomen. He then stomped on her thigh, leaving behind an impression of his Wellington boot.
Oof.
Yeah. This is all terrible and everything, but I just think it's funny that he's wearing wellies during this.
In case it rained.
I guess. But, I mean, it's just, I mean, I know that, like, all Wellingtons aren't the same. They're not all, the same wellies and everything. But, like, all I'm imagining is just Hunter Wellingtons, which, in the, like, bright yellow kids Hunter Wellingtons, or the Hunter wellies. So all I'm imagining is him committing murders wearing these.
I didn't know those were Hunter Wellingtons.
Well, that's the brand name.
I thought Welling is Hunter
Wellies
is
are
or Wellington is.
Wellies are a type of, I mean, well, they could call anything like a Wellington, like any kind of like, yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I thought that Wellingtons was like the brand of boot that everybody just
So
like everybody.
originally Wellingtons were just riding boots.
Mm.
And then any boots that like people wore that are like, over boots or anything like that for like going out and like being out in the elements, they started calling those Wellingtons or wellies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. So Hunter is a brand.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. That clears that up. That makes a lot more sense. Because yeah, that's what I was imagining. Regardless, that's what I always imagine when I think of Wellingtons.
Whenever you think of wellies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of different styles of wellies as well. They've got black, they've got short, they've got also they're made from like leather and stuff as well. So it's basically like it's so in England they kind of use them as like, those cowboy boots that I have that are like the round tip ones that they're kind of short but they're cute.
I'd know them if I saw them.
Yeah, exactly. And they're in Vegas right now anyway, so I can't show them to you right now. Normally they're like right next to me.
Oh, okay. I think I know the ones you're talking about.
Yeah. Normally they're just like hanging in my shoe rack right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyways, those, are they're cowboy boots, but they're a specific type of cowboy boots. They're I think they're llamas. They're Tony llamas. So, like anything can be called like a cowboy boot, but there are specific types. Anything can be called a Wellington at this point, but there's also like the original Wellington brand, and then there's like certain types of like wellies.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. It's like what my mom does with Keds. She calls a lot of tennis shoes just Keds.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of older people do that too.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, if I'm wrong, but that's just the way that I understand it. But if I'm wrong, and we've got any viewers who are English or have any sort of authority in wellies and Wellingtons, please let us know in the comments. We really would like to know because this is actually interesting. But yeah, when he stomped on her leg, all I imagine is him wearing a pair of those bright ass yellow wellies. Yeah. So after that attack, Peter attacked 20-year-old Marcella Claxton in Roundhay Park, Leeds, on the 9th of May. Walking home for a party, she accepted an offer of a lift from Sutcliffe, and when she got out of the car to urinate, he hit her from behind with a hammer. So, she's probably pissed and, accepts a ride home. And then while she's having a piss, he kills her. Are you angry?
That would piss me off.
Yeah. Now, she actually didn't die. She was left alive and testified against him at the trial. And at the time of this attack, she had been 4 months pregnant and subsequently miscarried her baby. Yeah. She required extensive multiple brain operations and suffered from intermediate blackouts and chronic depression as a result of this attack.
Oof.
On the 5th of February, Peter attacked Irene Richardson, a Chapeltown prostitute in Roundhay Park. Richardson was bludgeoned to death with a hammer, and once she was dead, Sutcliffe mutilated her corpse with a knife. Tire tracks that were left near the murder scene resulted in a long list of possible suspected vehicles, but it wasn't good enough because 2 months later, on the 23rd of April, he killed Patricia Tina Atkinson, a prostitute from Bradford, in her flat where the police had found a boot print on the bedclothes. Now, it's actually interesting to me that like she would take customers in her flat because she thought that that would make her safer.
Mm.
Hmm.
Honestly, like I don't really feel like there's any one way to do it that's like the safest, but I quite frankly think taking them to your home is the least safe.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's just the way that it works for some people. I've got friends who had been prostitutes in the past, and they would do it in their own home because they didn't have money to like rent out another place to do it.
Yeah, that's true.
Sex workers. Your neck go crickle crackle.
Yeah, my neck go crunch.
Crunch. All right. So another 2 months later, on the 26th of June, he murdered 16-year-old Jane McDonald in Chapeltown. She, however, was not a sex worker, and in the public perception, it showed that all women were potential victims. Now, here's the thing with the case up until this point. Up until this point, everyone was just like, well, they're just prostitutes. And then the 16-year-old gets killed, and they're just like, oh my God, this is the only innocent victim, which in turn made the feminists crazy angry that the press was doing that. And they were like, fuck you. They were all innocent. No one deserves to be killed, no matter who they are. It was a whole thing.
Yeah, wild concept. Doing something illegal shouldn't automatically be a death sentence.
What a crazy idea, right? Oh my God. So wild, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Oh, here it is. Okay, this is the right
You
stuff.
good?
Yeah, I just got a bug bite, so I was just trying to make sure I found my Benadryl cream.
Mm. So, anyways, the police again had described her as the first innocent victim, which is honestly just infuriating. And then Sutcliffe seriously assaulted a woman named Maureen Long in Bradford in July, but he was interrupted and fled, leaving her for dead. She was suffering from hypothermia when she was found and was in the hospital for 9 weeks.
God.
Yeah. Now, a witness actually saw his car. However, they were mistaken in the make of the car, resulting in more than 300 police officers checking thousands of cars without success.
Whoops.
Yeah. On October 1st, 1977, Sutcliffe murdered Jean Jordan, a prostitute from Manchester. And in a confession, he said that he had realized that the new £5 note he had given her was traceable. And after hosting a family party in his new home, he returned to the wasteland behind Manchester's South Cemetery where he had left the body to retrieve the note, but unable to find it, he mutilated her corpse and moved it.
Over a £5 note.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, I personally don't know how the £5 note was traceable. I really don't know how that works.
Yeah, like did he like leave a big bloody thumbprint on it or something? Like what the fuck? I don't.
No, actually. I was watching a documentary about this while I was doing the notes, and they said that they could trace new bills, and I'm just like, how was it like? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I would imagine that honestly, actually, no, that doesn't make sense. I was thinking like maybe they have like it had something to do with like the like serial number or something, but like that I I don't feel like that would really make sense for one £5 note.
Yeah, I have no idea. And see, I tried to figure this out while I was, while I was doing the notes. Couldn't figure it out. I just Googled it again. Still have no idea. Like, I don't know how it was traceable, but the police on the show were like, we traced it to Peter Sutcliffe. I'm like, how?
Hello, England. How do?
Honestly. I'm going to message Gemma and ask her.
I thought you were going to say I'm going to message England.
I'm going to tweet the Queen.
Just message all of England.
Dear England, how? Sincerely, Chardonnay True Crime.
Dear England, question mark?
Like 16 question marks.
Ow.
You okay?
Yeah, I just tried to push down my pop socket, but it caught on my nail.
Dear England, how? There, I asked England.
Tell us your secrets. Please and thank you. XOXO.
Love America. All right. But anyways, so on the 9th of October, her body was discovered by a local dairy worker. And actually, interestingly enough, future actor Bruce Jones, who was well known in England for having been on, I believe, Coronation Street.
Huh.
Yeah. Bruce Jones was on, I believe it was Coronation Street. Let's see. Yep, Coronation Street. He was Les Baxter on Coronation Street.
God, does everything about that sound British as hell?
Yeah, right. He was actually a taxi driver on the show as well.
There you go.
Yeah. Now, where is it? All right. So he had an allotment on the land adjoining the site where the body was found and was searching for house bricks when he made the discovery. Now, even though he was innocent, right? He was innocent of doing this. He was treated as a suspect and subsequently lost his first wife and children as a result.
Oh.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Think of all the lives you are ruining, Peter.
God, what a dick.
Seriously, so many lives are being ruined by this douche bagel.
Did you say douche bagel?
Yep.
Okay.
I said what I said.
I was just making sure I heard bagel correctly.
What I said.
God, this fucking playlist is so weird.
Yeah, right. Anyways, so the 5-pound note had been hidden in a secret compartment in Jordan's handbag and was traced to branches of the Midland Bank in Shipley and Bingley. So I guess that's how?
Yes, but like how?
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
It's not like this is like, what is this? Is this still the 70s?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like they had a computer that like tracked every single like fucking thing. Like, did they go in and like spend hours every single day writing the serial number for every single bill that came into the building?
No, I think what it is when it was printed at the mint, right? I think that they had certain serial numbers, like from this serial number to this serial number was sent to this particular bank.
That would make a lot more sense, but that still just seems like very complicated.
I think that it's actually not as complicated as you think it is.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyways. I don't know things.
Anyways, so the police analysis of bank operations allowed them to narrow their field of inquiry to 8,000 employees who could have received it in their wage packet. In over 3 months of the police interviewing 5,000 men, including Sutcliffe, the police found that the alibi given for Peter Sutcliffe's whereabouts was credible and that he had indeed spent much of the evening of the killing at a family party. Weeks of the intense investigations pertaining to the origins of the £5 note led to nothing, leaving the police officers frustrated that they had collected an important clue but had been unable to trace the actual firm to which the note had been issued. On the 14th of December, Sutcliffe attacked Marilyn Moore. Also, while I was writing these notes, I kept almost typing Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, I definitely read that as Marilyn Monroe. Like, I was just like, Marilyn Moore.
Yeah, I did that about 4 times before the show started. I was like, Marilyn Moore, Marilyn Moore, Marilyn Moore. Not Monroe.
It's literally only missing one letter, and then you just
Rearrange
you just move the R, like you got Monroe.
Hence why I had to stop myself from doing it like 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because otherwise I definitely would have. Anyway, so he attacked Marilyn Moore, another prostitute from Leeds. She also survived and provided the police with a description of her attacker. Entire tracks found at the scene matched those from an earlier attack. Now, she actually, because she was able to give a description, was able to provide a description well enough that they actually made a composite sketch.
Yay!
Or in England, they call it a photo fit.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So you ready for this photo fit though? Because this is actually really interesting.
Is it just a picture of a Count Chocula box?
Yes. It absolutely is. That's all it is. Fucking stupid. You know who that looks like? Count Chocula.
Were you attacked by Count Chocula?
No.
Are you sure?
No. Yes. It looks just like him, doesn't it?
Kinda, yeah.
It's very close.
His mouth looks all funky, but I think it's just because of like the quality of the picture.
He's like this.
See, I think it looks like he's like
this. It just looks like it's just my face.
he ain't got no upper lip.
No, he got no lower lip neither.
No, he's got a lower lip. He's just got no upper lip. Not even a stiff upper lip.
No upper lip. I ain't bothered. There's a side-by comparison of them.
Okay, yeah, that's like a more normal picture of him. So yeah, I see it more there.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I always find like ridiculous fucking pictures to show of these people because they're ridiculous fucking people.
Yeah, that like 70s Count Chocula like glam shot. Like I just couldn't like I couldn't quite match them up, but that one picture of him's like, oh, okay, yeah, he's just like a fucking dude.
Oh, he is just a fucking dude. Like, hang on a second. I've got a good picture that I actually used on the promo for tonight. That is posted on Facebook and in our Discord server. So if you looked at the Discord server, you have seen this picture. Yes, I'm calling you out. Hang on. There. It's not a huge picture, but he's very obviously like dyed his eyebrows in it, and it makes me so weirded out a little bit, honestly.
He looks kind of like
He's
a
gone,
robot.
he's gone over his eyebrows, so like you can see his eyebrow ends like about there, but the dye goes to about there, and I'm just like, bruh.
Just, you're supposed to like wipe that part off.
He didn't though.
Yeah, and like his eyes are like a little crooked.
Yeah. Ask him if he's bothered.
Yeah.
Ask him if he's bothered though. All right, but anyways, so
Look at my face.
her photo fit bore a strong resemblance to Sutcliffe. Like others, she provided a good description of the car, which had been seen in red light districts, and Sutcliffe had been interviewed on this issue. The police discontinued the search for the person who received the £5 note in January 1978, and although he had been interviewed about it, he was not investigated further. And he actually was contacted and disregarded by the Ripper Squad on several further occasions. I think they ended up talking to him 9 fucking times.
Jesus Christ.
And they were like, oh, it's not him. And he's like, it ain't me though. And they were like, all right, yeah, cheers. Sorry about that.
Comes back. Yeah, it still weren't me though.
All right, yeah, sorry. Go on then. By like the 4th time, they're just like, oh yeah, Peter. Is it?
And he's just like, someone get killed again.
They're like, yeah, you gotta go talk to him.
You don't even have to say it though. I mean, you know it wasn't me.
Yeah, you're right. Get out of here, Peter. Go on.
Ow.
I had dog hair in my mouth. It won't get out. There it is. It wouldn't get out.
I hate when that happens.
I was like, I pulled it and I felt it in my fingers, but then I like put my tongue back in my mouth and it was still on my tongue. And I was just like, yeah, basically. Definitely didn't just spit all over my computer screen. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's why you got to do it at an angle like I did. I did it that way.
Yeah. Oh my god, look at how long my undercut is. That's not an undercut.
So long.
That's not an undercut, that's an undergrowth. I gotta shave that this week.
I gotta
Anyway,
figure out what to do with my hair next.
save it.
Comment below, what should Kate do with her hair?
Comment below. Tell Kate to shave her head like Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Don't tell Scarlett I said that. She'll kill me. She hated regrowing her hair.
Hey, Scarlett.
How dare you? How dare? Anyways, so that month, the same month, he kills again. He killed Yvonne Pearson, a 21-year-old prostitute from Bradford, and by repeatedly bludgeoning her around the head with the ball-peen hammer, and then jumped on her chest before stuffing horsehair into her mouth from a discarded sofa under which he had hid her body near Lum Lane. Yeah.
Horsehair from a sofa?
Maybe the people had horses and the horses liked to sit on the couch. I don't know. Listen, I was just around horses. It's really easy to get horsehair off of horses. Like I was brushing the mane and tail of one of the horses, and like by the time I was done, there was so much fucking hair out. I was like, "Are you okay?"
How are you not bald?
The horse was just angry at me for brushing him. There was like one point where I was braiding his tail, And he started walking away from me, and I'm like following, holding his tail, just like, wait. Literally a thing that happens. Me just screaming at a fucking 1-ton animal, just wait!
Oh, apparently, like, horsehair fabric is a thing.
Huh.
Horsehair fabrics are woven with wefts of tail hair from live horses and cotton or silk warps. Horsehair fabrics are sought for their luster, durability, and care properties, and mainly used for upholstery and interiors.
Well, that definitely makes sense for it being a couch.
Mm. Yeah, definitely. And it also means that they probably didn't have pet horses that like to sit on the couch, which is far less interesting.
Yeah, it is far less interesting, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just imagining those horses just like chilling on the couch.
I love seeing those videos of people who like have horses that are like indoor horses, and it's just like they're just like big dogs, but like weirder.
Yeah, horses are just basically like that anyway. They're just like big dogs, but weirder. I was brushing out that horse that I was just talking about, and like I was standing like in front of him, but I was like standing up near his neck, and I was like brushing out his neck because he had like, I don't know how he managed it, but he got poop on his neck and it was dry there. Yeah, no idea how he managed that. He probably rolled in it because he had it fucking everywhere. So I'm like brushing the poop off of him. I'm just like, how did you manage this? It was dried, so it was really easy to brush it off. But I'm sitting there brushing his neck, and he just like goes and he lifts his head like over me. And so like this is my head, and he just goes, mm. And I'm just sitting there like, thank you. Thanks, brah. I'm like, can I help you? And he just like his head just on me. Yeah. No, like my head was underneath his face, like smushed between like his head and his neck. So it's just like, I'm just like, why, legend?
Him hug you.
I guess. And then 5 minutes later walked away from me while I'm trying to braid his tail. He's just like, and I'm done. And I'm just like, wait.
But you're not done.
And then like every time I would like go back into where we were, because we were trying to run him because he's fucking lazy. So we're trying to run him, and he's just like, I don't want to run. I don't want to run. So I like left him in the run, and anytime I like walked by, he would get all impatient and like want to like leave the run, and I was just like, no, stay in there. You need to exercise.
Do you ever think about how like badly designed horses are and just get a little bit terrified?
Every single day of my fucking life.
They're just running on fingers.
Yeah. Fingernails.
Yeah.
You know, you have to trim horses' hooves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's terrifying. I mean, that's what a farrier is for. The farrier does the trimming, but like, you know, cleaning out their hooves and everything you have to do as well. Otherwise they'll get thrush or like other issues. Like there's so many issues that horses have.
Yeah.
But that's not for a true crime show. That's for a show where we talk about how horses are the worst designed animals in history.
Yeah, they really are. But yes, please, let's get back into the true crime. That's what you guys are here for. You're not here for horse lessons.
Even though I love horses.
Their lungs bleed if they run too fast.
I know they do. I still love them. I still love them.
I love them too. But God.
Yep. Anyways, so 10 days later, he killed Helen Ritka, an 18-year-old prostitute from Huddersfield. He struck her on the head 5 times as she exited his vehicle before stripping off the clothes from her body, although her bra and polo neck jumper were positioned above her breasts, and he repeatedly stabbed her in the chest. Her body was found 3 days later beneath railway arches in Garran's timber yard, where he had driven her to. Sutcliffe said of her when in police custody in 1981, I had the urge to kill any woman. The urge inside me to kill girls was now practically uncontrollable. On the 16th of May, he killed Vera Millward in an attack in the car park of the Manchester Royal Infirmary. He did it at the fucking hospital.
Yeah,
he killed her in a car park of a hospital.
Just that's both just like ballsy and just like rude. Like they're so like obviously like any type of murder is like a bad time, but like what like that's just so fucked up. Just the hospital's right there.
Audacity.
Honestly, the caucasity.
The caucasity. So, anyways, on the 4th of April, 1979, Sutcliffe killed Josephine Whitaker, a 19-year-old building society clerk whom he had attacked on the Sawville Park moor in Halifax as she was driving home. Despite forensic evidence, police efforts were diverted for several months following the receipt of a taped message perpetrating to be from the murderer taunting Assistant Chief Constable George Oldfeld of the West Yorkshire Police, who was leading the investigation. The tape contained a man's voice saying, "I'm Jack. I see you're having no luck catching me. I have the greatest respect for you, George, but Lord, you're no nearer catching me than 4 years ago when I started." Now, I actually found a copy of this on YouTube, so I'm going to share that now.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fucking wild, and we're going to talk about that as well. So let's share this. Line. If you will. Thank you. And let's go.
I see you are still having no luck catching me. I have the greatest respect for you, George. But Lord, you are no nearer catching me now than 4 years ago when I started. I reckon your boys are letting you down, George. They can't be much good, can they?
So,
the time they came near catching me was a few months back in Chapel Ground when I was disturbed. I warned you in March that I'd strike again. Sorry it wasn't Bradford. I'm not quite sure when I'll strike again. But it will be definitely sometime this year. I'm not sure where. Maybe Manchester. I like it there. There's plenty of them knocking about. They never learn, do they, George? I bet you've warned them, but they never listen. Well, it's been nice chatting to you, George. Yours, Jack the Ripper.
So he is, the police think that he is taunting them, and they believe that this is the voice of the killer. Now, based on the recorded message, the police began searching for a man with a Wearside accent, also known as a Geordie accent in England. Yeah. And they narrowed down the search to Castleton area of Sunderland, Tyne, and Ware. Now, this wasn't actually Peter Sutcliffe. This is someone who is wasting police time and effort. And it's actually pretty infuriating. I hate it when people do this shit.
Right? Like, what is even the point?
I don't know. I really don't. So the hoaxer, dubbed Wearside Jack, sent 2 letters to police and to the Daily Mirror, because of fucking course they did, in March of 1978, boasting of his crimes. The letters, signed Jack the Ripper, claimed responsibility for the murder of 26-year-old Joan Harrison in Preston in November 1975, and at the time, police mistakenly believed that the Preston murder was not public knowledge. The hoaxer case, however, was reopened in 2005, and DNA samples taken from the envelopes was entered into the national database, in which it matched that of a man named John Samuel Humble, an unemployed alcoholic and longtime resident of the Ford estate in Sunderland, a few miles from Castleton, whose DNA had been taken following a drunken disorderly offense in 2001. So, on the 20th of October 2005, Humble was charged with attempting to pervert the course of justice for sending the hoax letters and tape, and was remanded in custody on the 21st of March 2006 and convicted and sentenced to 8 years in prison. He died on the 30th of July 2019, aged 63. Unfortunately, because the police spent so much time looking for this person that they believed was the actual Ripper, they had no idea that there were still several more murders to come.
Ugh.
And we're going to get into those murders and the follow-up and the fallout in the next episode.
Just goes to show you, don't fucking prank the police and be an asshole.
Fucking guy.
Fucking guy.
Seriously, why? I don't understand. I mean, I understand that it's like for attention. I do get that. But like, why that kind of attention? I understand. Like, I get it. But at the same time, I'm just like, are you really so fucking desperate for attention and so pathetic that you're just like, I'm going to tell the police that I'm a serial killer and stop them from finding the actual killer?
Yeah, like, there's no way for that to turn out well for you.
No.
Just, there's no good end to that.
There really isn't. There really is not. So, yeah. Thoughts so far, Kate?
Fuck that guy.
I like that his name is Humble, but he's obviously not very humble.
Yeah, right? And
Yeah.
like, that bastard like pulled that shit, and he didn't even make it to this year, so he didn't have to deal with any of the bullshit that everyone else has had to deal with this year. So fuck that guy.
Yeah. Fuck him indeed.
But I can't even remember the guy we were actually talking about. Peter Sutcliffe.
So angry.
Got so angry at Mr. Humblebrag over there.
That's literally his name is Humblebrag.
Yeah, his name is Humblebrag now. But I forgot that I forgot about Peter Sutcliffe.
You were so mad. You forgot about who we were actually covering.
Yeah. This guy, but yeah, the guy we were actually covering, like he's not very good at this. Like he's gotten away with this for a surprisingly long time for how bad he is at this.
Yeah, right. I swear to God, it's just because he's just like, hey, it's not me, and the police are like, all right then.
Yeah, right. Just hey, just that weren't me.
All right, come on then.
Thanks. Cheers.
Why didn't you say so? Get out of here.
All right, bye.
Hiya. All right, shouldn't have to say this, but you're not killing anyone when you get out of here, are you?
Why would I kill someone after leaving the police station?
Oh my God, I know. That's just ridiculous, isn't it? I'm sorry. I had to ask, trying to do
I know. You're doing your job, but you gotta hear how silly you sound, right?
No, I know. I'm just, I'm doing an investigation, trying to do this.
All right, well, good luck with your investigation. You're gonna do great.
Right.
You're amazing.
Right. Well, cheers. Did you watch Coronation Street the other day? Yeah.
Oh yeah, with that guy, that one guy.
Yeah.
Didn't they think that he was the murderer for a minute there?
Yeah. Turns out he weren't. Wife still left him though.
Well, Maybe you shouldn't be suspicious of murder.
You are so right, Peter. All right, get out of here. Go happen. I'll see you at the pub later, yeah?
All right, ta.
See, like now, and the thing is he's not Ed Kemper, so he's not like meeting the cops for drinks or anything. Actually, the cops said that he had like zero fucking personality when they would talk to him. He wouldn't offer up any information. He would only give them like stuff whenever he was asked things, which honestly, not a bad way to talk to the cops if you ask me. Like, don't
Yeah.
offer up information to the police, just answer questions when asked and get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, like if they're coming to you because of an investigation, quite frankly, that's honestly the way I would do it. But if you called them there for help, then like tell them whatever you need to tell them, I guess.
Exactly. But like if it, and the thing is they will take anything that you say and try to use it against you. It's
literally in your Miranda rights.
Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law, but they will take they believe that any person that they question about any specific thing is a high probability of being the actual person, which I understand that. Absolutely, I understand that. But the thing is like they don't take into account a lot of stuff when it comes down to it. But it's their job not to.
Yeah, their job is to treat, like, you treat everyone as a suspect until like you've narrowed down everything. But at the same time, where's the whole there's also that line about like innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
So, it's hard to balance that.
But anyways, if you enjoyed this show, feel free to throw us a couple bucks on Venmo. Mine is at Dakota's Beard. Kate's is at Kate Ulrich 42, or you can support our show on Patreon. That's patreon.com/CHARDONHAAAYTC. Also that spells Chardonnay TC. Yeah. Check us out on Patreon. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up. We are, as a reminder, going to be taking a break after this week until January the 12th. So that it's almost a month-long break. I know that's a long time. However, we will still be trying to do a live stream a week. It's just not going to be as much research or anything. Probably what we'll do is do like a Q&A, like, kind of thing, or we'll just like get on here and talk to everybody, see how everyone's doing, see what's going on for about just like 20 minutes or so. Yeah,
just like a quick little pop in, just so you don't forget about us.
But in the meantime, we will see you on Thursday. So until Thursday, say goodnight, Kate.
Good night, Kate.
Good night, and don't be sexist against sex workers, because that's fucking rude.
Yes, that is always the point of the story.
Let me just shorten this. Don't be sexist.
Valid. Effective advice.
All right. We'll see you all on Thursday.